What is in that block of ice, everybody? Only one of the worst gimmicks to ever be put on a wrestling program. I'm John Rentham with a retro review of WCW Nitro from October 23rd, 1995, the go-home show for Halloween Havoc, and I'm going to save all my anger for the Yeti or the Yeti and all the bullshit that happens at the pay-per-view for the actual pay-per-view review itself. But it's one of the worst things to ever happen on a wrestling program, at least as far as a mainstream wrestling program. Sure, there are some territories. I mean, Los Angeles, you hear about all the bullshit that they did, at the very end before they shut down. And some other gimmicks. Memphis has bullshit gimmicks because Lawler loved movie monsters, but at least some of those you could sort of kind of see. This one, I just don't understand what they were trying to go for. But anyway, go home show, Halloween Havoc 1995. Actually, for the matches, pretty damn good stuff. Kurosawa versus Randy Savage. Kurosawa, the future Manabu Nakanishi. Really good. Actually, really good, short TV match, but it was really action-packed, arm-focused by Kurosawa. And Savage kept selling it really well and doing some really good stuff to really put the guy over strong. And eventually he does hit a top rope elbow, 1, 2, 3, but Savage did not make him look weak. And in fact, I would say Kurosawa dominated about 75% of this match. It was really good stuff. And then King Curtis Ayakea, Prince Ayakea, I believe Prince Ayakea's father, I think, or at least some kind of relation. I always get confused sometimes with the family trees and everything. Poor Prince Ayakea, poor Prince. But yeah, King Curtis just yelling, Sullivan, Sullivan, and I can't do the voice. I can't do the fucking voice because I don't think I'm going to have any voice left if I try doing that, but it's just good, guys. Yelling about the block of ice with the Yeti. Everybody's trying to put this over. This was so fucking bad. It was just, and also that guy bladed so badly during his career. All the marks that he had, you could have put quarters in there. It's like you were trying to put quarters in to an arcade fighting machine, for God's sakes. And then Giant Sullivan talked about the pay-per-view main event. This was absolutely atrocious. And then Hogan cuts a promo and rips off his neck brace. I don't need this stinking neck brace. He hated it because it was black. That's what it was. He's going to rip out the rest of his clothes. I hate it because it's black. Hogan, by the way, will stop getting these comments when he decides to apologize. Otherwise, I, as a fan, will not forgive the fact that he apologized for getting caught on camera, not for what he actually said. It was fucking bullshit. And I want to hear, it's at a low point in his life and everything. Yeah, we all had low points in our lives. You know what? Low points in your lives don't make you go racist. They don't make you go racist. They don't make you go homophobic. They don't make you go, real bad. You kind of have to get rid of those thoughts in your head. You can do it if you actually fucking want to. But anyway, Hulk Hogan's just, doing all this stuff, typical stuff. And then we get Benoit Malenko versus Eddie and Mr. JL. Alex Wright was supposed to be Eddie Guerrero's tag partner, but he was injured. Good tag work. Of course, they cut to the back where Scott Norton is just yelling at the Shark. To be fair, even now, Scott Norton would terrify me. This is from back when Norton got pinned by Randy Savage when the Shark interfered and got knocked out and fell on his legs, practically fell asleep. That's from like a month before. There were about 5-6 weeks before this. And it was well-paced, given good time. JL got targeted for a while. And then Alex Wright did a spot where he uses crutch to trip Dean Malenko. And in the dreaded roll-up, the most devastating maneuver in all of professional wrestling, surprise roll-up, 1, 2, 3, Malenko gets pinned. Okay, good stuff. JL, despite getting the shit beat out of him for most of the match, got the pin, which was kind of funny. Then we get Pillman blindside Eddie in the entranceway, and that would lead to a match. I want to say it would lead to a match on the following Nitro right after Halloween Havoc or soon after. But Pillman's all of a sudden doing this, holding up the 4 fingers and stuff like that, 4 horsemen. Pillman really was on a different level by this point. Shame about the car accident that he had. Real shame. If Pillman hadn't gotten injured, I think he would have at least kept working in wrestling for a while and would have been a hell of a commentator. So we get Harlem Heat versus Sting and Luger. Sting in red and yellow and everything. He's going to turn to the good side while Hogan goes to the dark side. Which Hogan hates the dark side, if I mentioned that. And it wasn't bad. Luger got beat up for a bit, but Sting eventually hit a crossbody, 1, 2, 3. And then everybody get in here. Giant and Sullivan, Savage and Hogan. Rest of Dungeon and Doom show up. Zodiac, Kamala, and everybody else, the Shark. And then suddenly, the floor is shaking, the lights and everything, and they got a few seconds to go, and the ice explodes, and you barely see the Yeti, but it's so badly done, because you can see it's a mummy, not a Yeti. I'm going to save that for the pay-per-view review anyways, but it's fucking mummy, not a Yeti. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.